Good morning, ducks! Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Duck Adventure for October the 24th, Monday. What a brutal night we just went through here. The ducks just calmed down here. Oh, I'd say about maybe 20 minutes ago. We had the biggest owl I have ever seen here all night, freaking the ducks right out. And I didn't know it was an owl. I thought it was a coyote at first, the way the ducks were running around the pen. And then they started freaking out like the coyote was between the house and the pen, and they were running to the back of the pen, which made no sense. Turned out the coyote, or not the coyote, the owl was on the roof of the garage right in front of me here. I got up and I opened my screen door, and as soon as I opened the screen door, the owl took off, and that's how I knew it was an owl. He had to have had a wingspan of like 3 feet. It was huge, huge bird. But he didn't leave, he just kept coming back and hanging around and freaking the ducks out. And this went on for about 4 hours. And the ducks just now are sleeping. Just a brutal night for me too, because I had to listen to it all. Good morning, ducks! Well, they're not that awake. They've had a bad night. Alright, well, I'm going to go start my day here. Man, I am so wiped out. But the owl was right there on the corner of the roof. And he flew off into the dark that direction. But it was just a bad night here. Alright guys, the ducks are sleeping. I've been waiting for the wind to die down. It hasn't, but I'm going to take a chance. I'm so tired. Oh man. Ducks have been sleeping all morning. Actually, since the owl left, which was I think about 5:30, it drove me nuts, man. I don't know where he was hiding after he took off the garage roof. But the ducks are totally asleep. But watch this. I'll slam the door. All right, let's get this happening. They heard the door. Their heads are starting to come up. Let's let them out. This is mean. I'm taking off from a new spot over here on the dry ground, just in case it comes back before I come back from letting the ducks out, because this whole area over here is mud. The last thing I want is the drone to land in the mud. That little interruption was good. Oh, God. You know, the dog has been MIA here on the morning rush. And he's totally got him screwed up. Hey, Doug, we're not herding, dog. Come here, Doug. Hey. You know, he's just walking around excited. Hey, come here. Come here. What a dog. Heel. Yeah, you know what that means, eh? Okay. I got to, I'm staying back, guys, because I want the ducks to get ahead of me here. Because I've got the disruptor with me this morning. I got this one group here. Magoo's could just come out of the gate now. Now go over and see Magoo. He'll let you give him a kiss. All right, I'm way behind here, guys. I'm trying to find a path here because it's all mud. Even Doug's walking around the mud. But it's cold mud this time of year. That's why Dougie's not a big fan of it. But they're really moving fast here this morning. The wind's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I woke up sad this morning when I did finally wake up after being up all night, and the poor duck's stressed out because of that owl. I'm telling you guys, like when I opened up the sliding door, because I wanted to open the screen so I could look, you know, a little clearer vision. And he took off right off the roof. He was sitting there, just freaking the ducks out, and that's what had me wonder. I was like, okay, the coyote, I thought, was between the house and the pen. It wasn't the coyote at all. Oh, I can hear the drone working hard up there above me. It's not liking this wind. Oh, Muscovy just flew. Doug, come here. Oh, another Muscovy just landed behind me. Well, we're probably getting it with the drone. Well, they seem to be embracing the water here this morning. All right, let me go get the drone controller and see what I can do in this wind. It's pretty intense.
That was the craziest drone flying, guys. I'm not kidding you. It was nuts. The wind was so intense that I actually was using the controller at full throttle going back to hold it in one spot because the wind was so strong. And then finally, I guess the drone was fighting the wind so hard that it was trying to land and it was going straight to land in the water, so I had to shut it down. But I just had to get that drone footage because, you know, we're on the countdown here, guys. 3 days. Because I'm thinking the morning of the 27th, the ducks are not going to get out because I've got Matt and his cousin coming over to help me with the sort. So I can't very well let the ducks out if I'm doing a sort. Deciding who's, you know, going to stay and who's going to leave. I wish this wind would screw off, bro. Oh, boys. Yeah, it's so strong it's lifting the geese up. The geese are trying to get air here. It's a crazy north wind. Oh, there's Magoo. You sure take your time to come down here. Oh, that little duck. You had me worried last night. I was thinking about getting the drone out to do a flyby, but this wind is just as strong as it was yesterday. Okay, we got some ducks coming back and a little bit of a panic. I don't see anything swimming out there. Oh, I just saw its head pop up, guys. Dead ahead, out probably 300 feet. I just saw a black head come out of the water. The otters are out there swimming around. I'm just looking here through my glassy eyes from the wind, and it doesn't look like they're coming closer to the ducks. They're definitely out there though. I saw the head pop up. Just as the ducks were coming back, I saw a black dot come out of the water out there. But it was like a good 300 feet away. At least 300 feet. Now the ducks are getting out of the water. They're not going to screw around. Alright, well I gotta go finish and edit. And I gotta get caught up here. Oh, this is gonna be brutal the next 3 days here. Plus I gotta do some plumbing work this afternoon to get the water ready because tonight's going down to -3. Well, they're saying anywhere between -1 and -4, so I'm thinking we're gonna hit the -4. It's always colder here than what they say. It's not very often this time of year with the north wind that it's warmer. So I've got to get the water set up so it doesn't freeze. I don't want to be dealing with frozen water tomorrow morning. And if I do, you know, a simple 40-minute job this afternoon, I won't have to, you know, struggle for 3 hours tomorrow morning. And the duck's not having any water in the pen. And the weather, 2 nights cold, and then we're back above zero, like +5 again at night. So it's just the next 2 nights of cold that I got to deal with the water situation. So I've got the plumbing parts, put it together, get the heat gun out, and take the head off the plastic pipe in the pen and get it happening. But I got to go get an edit done, so you guys so I can get caught up. Oh man, I don't believe it. You know, the computer dying last week, you know, that set me back 2 days, and then 36 hours of no internet upload speed. Like, that's just a serious. I was already behind, and now I'm really behind. I passed Cripple Duck coming back in from the swamp with my hands full with the drone and the camera. I'm looking here. It looks like, yeah, she's in the water now, or he's in the water. Little duck. Some days, you know, it stays in the barn, and then some days it goes, you know, down to the creek. We're going down to the dock because something just happened down there, freaking and peeking, and I want to go see what's going on. This wind is nuts, guys. I'm telling you, that drone flight. Oh, I wish I could have had a camera on the drone so you could see what I was dealing with. I had the camera angle tilted so much because the drone was sitting on its side, laying into the wind. Definitely not what an amateur drone pilot should be doing. But hey, I was trying to capture the shot. But I did have it over top of the swamp area, the ground, so that if it did go down, it wasn't in water. I was thinking that far ahead. I wouldn't go over the water today, not the way the wind's swirling, because I washed it when I was over top of the swamp. I started off about 15 feet above the swamp, and I was filming, and I kept turning the camera angle up because I couldn't figure out what was going on. Then I look up at the drone, and I wasn't even 2 feet from the ground on the edge of the water, from the shoreline. The wind was just kept pushing. Not a day for an amateur to be out. What's going on down here? Yeah, the ducks are getting out of the water. They're actually a little bit of a panic going on here. I'm looking and I don't see anything swimming, but my eyes are a little bit glassed up from the wind right now. But they're all out of the water. I just heard an otter chirp. Why can't the otters just focus on eating fish? Why do they gotta keep trying to grab ducks? All right, I gotta swap around here. I'm not prepared to deal with an otter. You know, as nasty as that wind is right now, guys, when it dies down for a split second and the sun's out, I instantly get hot. But if I was not wearing a winter jacket right now with this wind hitting me, I'd be cold. Oh, there's two ducks over here. Two Muscovies. These two have been mating non-stop for days. It's like they've become a couple, because I've seen them together in the yard on numerous occasions. They're always together. Okay, Doug smells something. He just woofed. I know they're here. I saw the black head come out of the water. Man, that is windy, guys. If we didn't have the windsock on the mic, you'd hear it's nasty. I don't know if the video's picking up the little tiny white caps. That's bad on this lake. Well, I guess, you know, when you can fly, you can just swim wherever you want and not worry about the predators. Well, the otter's close, guys, because I've been standing here on the dock, and the ducks have all gotten out of the water now, and they've done a couple panics where they've actually all got out of the water and looked at the water. So the otter is somewhere around here swimming right now, but I can't see him. He's not sticking his head up anymore for me. But I did see him there during the rush. So they're here. Which I already know there's 3 of them. I just wish they would focus on fish instead of my ducks, because I know there's fish here. I saw it. I found a dead one on the shore there. That's a pretty good wind. Not drone flying, anyways. I'm thinking the otters are not showing themselves because Doug is down here. I think that's why. Because Doug keeps smelling. I just can't believe how low the water is, though. Holy mackerels. Because I just pulled the boat up, guys. I'll show you here, because I usually have to pull the boat up onto the secondary dock to get it out of the water. That hump of ground is usually floating, and it's usually, you know, water is right up to the top of it. Well, I've got the boat sitting on it, so there's like 2 feet of water missing, minimum. Actually, I'll just show you here. This stick right here, guys. That stick, normally there's about 2 inches. sticking out of the water, because that's what I used to tie the boat onto to sit out there. And there was just enough stick that would stick out of the water that I could tie it to. And now it's looking like a good, 18 inches, 24 inches sticking out. We better get a lot, lots of snow this year, or it becomes a crazy wet fall after I finish my cull. Yeah, the ducks are, they're just chilling on the shoreline. All right, I'm gonna go do an edit because I got work to do today. I gotta get done. I gotta get an episode up for you guys. The dog is feeling no pain, guys. No limp, nothing. Had to be a separated shoulder. But I don't get how he's not even limping. Like, he's not even favoring it. You separate your shoulder. It takes a little while to get back to normal. Somehow he has magically repaired himself. How did you do that, Doug? I'm gonna do a walk around the pen here just to double check. I had a thought with this big, massive owl, is that he's big enough, guys, from what I saw in the wingspan last night, that I'm thinking he could actually carry a duck out of the pen. Like, kill it and leave. We'd never know that we're getting picked off. That's how big he is. I couldn't believe this wingspan. When I saw the silhouette take off from the roof, I was like, holy mackerel, that's a big bird. Nothing. I never thought, when I slid the screen door so that I could see outside, that there was an owl sitting right on the roof. But the way the ducks were freaking, it made no sense last night, because I was like, okay, they're freaking out. And it was like the coyote was right in the front yard between the house and the pen, which the coyotes never do, which I was like, okay, what's going on? And there was an owl sitting there, and it just freaked him right out. He was right there. That's where he took off from. He was sitting on the corner. And there wasn't a duck in this area right here. They were all, actually where I'm standing by the swimming pool, the whole group of them were in a big clump right here. Which is something I've never seen them do, because usually you don't let coyotes here, because the coyote stays on the swamp side. They all come to the front. Stripper! Are you coming out, or are you sitting on an egg? Are you on an egg? No, you're not. But there is an egg in here. Oh no, dead duck, guys. I'm thinking it was that duck from yesterday. The one that was all, that I could put my hand in front of and it didn't bother him. Yeah, it is. It's that little male yesterday. This is bizarre, guys. To have, this is the second duck that's died in the last, 3 days? Other than Billy. Billy was getting sick, and maybe we've got a botulism situation happening. But the rest of the ducks are fine, like they're running around like normal. This guy was the one yesterday that he was in there, and I put my hand right by his head, and he didn't even move. I've never, I saw the ducks moving quick there, and I sort of got distracted. I've never had this many ducks die this late in the season. All right, I'm gonna go and deal with my edit. I said this before. I gotta go work, guys. Are you coming? Oh man, what a brutal edit I just did, guys. I totally forgot on the 17th, which is like a week ago. Okay, the ducks are out the water. I had 3 cameras running. I had 4 hours worth of footage to go through for today's episode. To get it, I think it was like an hour and 4 minutes when I was done. But it was like I had so many camera angles, and oh man, I won't be doing that again to myself. That was just brutal. I got to get the water happening here. The temperature, they've revised it. Tonight's -3, tomorrow night -5, and then -8, and then -5. So we got 3 freezing nights, and it's only 4 degrees. So if it's 4 degrees right now, and it goes down to like well, they say -1 in Ottawa, -3 in Petawawa, it means all the water's going to freeze. So I have to get my plumbing situation done. Come on, Doug. I gotta get it. I gotta get the water situation under control right now because I don't want to be dealing with this tomorrow. I've been down this road before where I've procrastinated and not done the water, and then end up spending hours the next day. Hours. Where if I do this, it's 40 minutes. I'll be done, and I won't be having 4 hours worth of screwing around trying to get water running tomorrow. All right, she's assembled. Now let's go take the one off the water line and put this one on. When we get down there, you'll see why. I've got my pail of tools ready, my heat gun to make things go a lot faster. I've already turned the water off in the basement, so oh man, I'm so glad I'm not procrastinating this because tomorrow would be frozen water if I did. You know, the ducks really embrace the sun beating on the creek over there. They're having a good week here. It's sad that they're leaving. But winter's fast approaching, guys. The forecast sucks. But then right after they leave, it's back up to like 10 degrees and then 5-degree nights. But from now till Thursday, it's cold. Unfortunately. They're down there swimming. Oh, they're going back out onto the lake. Hardcore ducks. Even Doug's being relaxed all day, and he's been outside all day. He didn't want to be outside all day, but he is. This cooler weather, Dougie doesn't like it. He'd rather be on the living room floor laying in the sun. I'm really quite shocked, guys, the water action that's going on right now. Because it's like 4:30. It's cold. Well, not really cold. I'm whining. I shouldn't be whining because it's going to get a lot colder, and I'll be out here, you know, dealing with it. I'm just shocked the amount of water action that's going on. But the ducks aren't having any predator problems, so no predator problems means you know, they'll hang around there, down there, as long as the day is lit up here. Alright, so what I got to do, as you can see, I've got, basically it's the same setup, okay, except this has got a tap that comes off of it. Now the problem is with this -8 weather we've got, I'll have the water running at a slow trickle so that the water doesn't freeze in the line, but the problem is this side will freeze and it will crack it, and then I'll be a real pain in the butt. Which means I'll have to fix something that I shouldn't have to fix if I would do what I'm doing right now. And the trick is, I'm going to take the heat gun, once I take all this apart, and I heat up the plastic, and it slips right off really easy. If you don't use the heat gun, you got to cut it off. So, alright, let me get this happening. What's going to happen here tonight is I'm going to do my water tours now with the big hose, the big gray hose. Over at the water station, because if it's you know, if it's dribbling all night, then it's not going to freeze. Because right now, with the ambient temperature being so low, going down to even lower tonight, things are going to freeze tonight. Things are going to start to stiffen up here. All right, I got to go and turn the water back on and then do my water chores. For as windy as it is right now, and as late in the day it is, I think it's like about, it's either 4:30, 4:45. I'm actually shocked that the ducks are down here. They're not, there's like none in the yard, except for the Muskopies. They're milking it, guys. It's almost like they know, you know, it's their last week. You know, more and more are going for swims. It sure feels like winter though. My cheeks of my face are actually pins and needles from the wind in the pan. It's a nasty north cold wind off the lake. Little ducks having fun. I'm sure glad that I wore my winter jacket though. I was gonna put my normal winter or windbreaker on, raincoat with my fleece underneath, and something told me, put the winter jacket on. I'm screwing them up by coming down here. I thought to myself, my chores can wait. Only a couple more days and the horde will be gone. And it'll be really quiet in my yard. You know, for the end of the day, they're really... I can't believe what's going on down here, guys. Because normally this time of day, they're coming back with the sun setting like this. Because there's next to no sun shining on the creek now. I know there's an awful lot of attempted flying going on here. They face the wind and then flop their wings. The geese got some serious air when I was doing the water in the pen. Hopefully that owl doesn't come back tonight. But he's big enough, guys, that I'm thinking like he could grab a duck. If he grabbed a smaller duck, he definitely could fly out with it. Okay, this is strange. They're going back to the creek instead of going to the house. That's some hardcore ducking. I've lost Doug. He took off into the bush after 5 crows that were flying over top of the property, because right now, you know, the crows are all, congregating in murders, and there's like a lot of crows, like a lot. It's crazy the amount of crows. It's like spring here for the crow situation. So poor Doug is losing it because they fly over the property like 5, 6, 7, 8 at a time. I do not know. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's trying to walk through the mud without getting his feet wet. Just look at him. He was going through lifting his feet up like a little princess dog. And the other day he was just going crazy with the hose and running through the muck. Doug, you make no sense. But look at that, eh? No limp. Nothing. Oh man, that makes me so happy to see my dog not gimped up. He was in bad shape, guys. He had to have dislocated it. Come over to see us. Hi, Dougie. How are you? Alright, well, he's got the ducks motivated here. Are you coming back home, ducks? It doesn't look it. Oh, Doug just took off into the bulrushes, so there's a good chance they're going to come home now. Yeah, that's strange. I just saw a bunch of ducks jump out of the water over by the dock, and Doug's over here. Well, something is here. Oh, there's Magoo.
Magoo, I don't have a clue. Everybody else is getting out of the water and you're staying in there. Duck, get out of the water. Doug's causing a bit of a panic here. Just a little bit. Are you back on duty, Doug? Alright, these ducks are hardcore. Look at this, they're going back out to the lake. It's like they don't want to come home. They're all heading out. This makes no sense tonight. I'm thinking on Thursday, their last day, they're not going to be able to get out of the pen. I'm watching what's going on here because the truck's showing up at 4 with potentially 3. And the thing is, if it's nasty weather, I don't like last year wasn't bad. It was actually not bad. It was actually nice, and we worked, into the night, loading the truck. But it's supposed to be rainy and cold on Thursday, so I'd rather be loading the truck, between like 2 and 6 than 6 to 11. All right, I gotta go do my chores, the water chores, get myself set up for tonight so the ducks' water doesn't freeze. And the ducks are going for a swim. I'm hoping tomorrow the weather's we get a break on this wind, because I can't fly the drone in this wind, not comfortably anyways. It was a trick this morning capturing what I did capture. The wind kept wanting to smack it down into the water. But these ducks, they're looking like they don't want to come home. End of the day, hardcore swimming it. I'm actually quite shocked. This is not like normal at all. I know I'm supposed to be doing my chores, but pretty soon they're going to be gone. All my hard work. And this year was a little harder than last year. Building that pen, guys, oh man, that next year is going to be a cakewalk compared to this year. I take the energy I took to build the pen. I could double the size of the flock and it'd be less work. That was a massive undertaking, doing that pen. And it was so hard, if it wasn't for Colin coming up doing the posts with me, I'd still be working on it right now. Raising this many birds, plus, building the pen and sharing it all, just a little too much. But the ducks are really, really embracing this. Something keeps freaking them out over there. It's got to be the otters. I'm just not seeing them. That's got to be what it is. Because I just saw a bunch of other ducks out of the corner of my eye do the same thing. I know I saw their heads stick up this morning. I know I'm walking around down here, I'm looking, man, they've got the bulrushes beaten down. This area that they've been hanging around, they've flattened it completely. I don't see any signs or anything out there swimming around other than ducks. And Doug has not even got his nose up here, and he can smell the otters. And the wind's coming off the lake. All right, I'm gonna go back and do my duck chores. I know my hands, from getting them wet, changing that the tap on the water line with the wind, it feels like winter. Oh, it'd be so nice if the weatherman was wrong, but I don't think so. They keep revising the forecast and adding cold days to it, so that's not a good sign when they keep adding cold days to it. It's when they take the cold days off, you know, that's when, you know, it's iffy. They're not too sure of themselves. But the way that north wind's howling, I think they're right. I think they're right, I should say. Oh, my face is getting tight from the cold air. I gotta get my chores done here. I'm rambling enough, guys. I don't understand this. The sun has set as far as the ducks are concerned. There's a little bit of sun on the other side of the lake, but it's long gone off the property. And now they're moving into the swamp. They're not even coming home. I have no idea what these ducks are up to today. It's like they don't want to come home. I don't get it. They're coming this direction, but not exactly the quickest. Doug just found Stripper's hiding spot. She was hiding in the rocks. Doug went over and ruined her little hiding spot. It's the absolute end of the day. Oh, they are coming home. They're like a bunch of kids coming home from school. Or I say going to school, not really that excited. Or maybe like a bunch of kids coming home. Lollygagging it. They're certainly taking their time. It's a pain this time of year with the water situation, how I have to jimmy rig everything. Gotta lay the hose out here so I can drain it. So tomorrow, when I go to use it, it's not frozen. Because, you know, they say it's gonna get cold. And usually this time of year when it gets cold, it takes forever for it to thaw out the next day. Look at this, just like a bunch of kids. Running to the fridge. Doug, come here. Come here, Doug. Oh, Doug screwed up that line. Heel, Doug. Oh, it's so funny. They stayed down there even though they were hungry. Because they're hungry ducks. For them to come straight back to the field like that? Oh, that's funny. Just had to juice it as long as possible at the creek. Oh, Doug's gonna screw them up here. He's back. He's back at work, ducks. Dougie, come here. Come here, dog. Oh, he smells something. Just need all the ducks leave. Well, the water running there, guys, the idea is that the water line won't freeze. Now the big question is that going to be enough water for the ducks tonight? Doug, leave Magoo alone. He's rubbing his face all over Magoo. It's almost like he's smelling him before he does a little bit of a nibble. Ducks are starting to come back. Just now. There's still a bunch down at the lake. I'm hoping the water's running enough to this many ducks. I did this last year once. I didn't have the water running enough, and I came out in the morning and it was empty. And there was a whole bunch of thirsty ducks standing around nibbling at the water that was trickling out. Well, no tomorrow morning. So this is the last hardcore bunch that are hanging on tonight at the lake. It's actually 5:45. I checked the time. They're ringing it right out to the end here. It's like they know, you know, it's time to go to the pen, and the pen sucks because there's this big giant owl that's coming to visit at night. It's freaking them right out. Mr. Owl shows up tonight. He might be in for a surprise. I might just do a warning shot. That usually freaks them out and they leave. We'll see what happens. If he's in outright attack mode, then we'll be dispatching an owl. If he's just flying around harassing them, I'll do a warning shot at 3 o'clock in the morning. My neighbors will like that. They're slowly but surely working their way back, but really, really slow. Ridiculously slow, actually. I'm going to take Doug down to the mouth of the creek and get the rest of the stragglers, plus do recon for cripple duck. Magoo's already back here, so I don't have to worry about him. Well, this worked. Came down here and they got the message. It's time to go home. But they were playing down here like there was no tomorrow. But now they're gonna go home. There's a couple of them are, you know, thinking twice about it. You know, they're like little kids. When they see me walking down here, they start, you know, getting their act together and they go home. Look at that, see? And if I wouldn't have walked down here, and I walked around the long way too, I came around from behind. It's just like little kids. But I'm gonna keep an eye out here. I gotta find cripple duck. I hope tomorrow's not windy. This is just brutal. I'm really sad, guys. It's just bizarre. I just had the most depressing wave looking here and seeing no ducks. I'm thinking, you know, 2 more nights and they're gone. This sucks, man. I hate this time of year. No, I know they have to go. Plus, the winter's kicking in here, and you know, I can't. It's hard enough taking care of the breeders here in this part of the world in the wintertime. It's pretty harsh. I just, you know, all this. It's like, you know, I'm lost for words. It's I do this to myself every year, you know, and I start off in the spring thinking I can power through it, and it hits hard. Anyways, I got 2 full more days of freedom, and then Thursday morning sort, and then say goodbye to them. Thursday night, they're all being good, going into the pen here. Oh, little ducks. You had good lives though. This year was good. Doug took good care of you. I'm really proud of him. We didn't have a lot of coyote problems. Oh, there's cripple duck. Right there, guys. Little cripple duck, just a truckin', eh? Oh, man. Look at it going, eh? It's like, it's trying so hard. Oh, fell. Trying so hard. Yeah, that female that's walking behind is just as slow. You know, I'm looking around here and I did a lot of work this year, guys. I'm just thinking, man. So wonder I'm so tired. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm burnt right out. I'm after I say goodbye to the duckies, I need some time to recharge, and then I gotta do my own cull too. You know, for my freezer. But I'm looking around, you know, I cut a lot of stuff this year, you know, to make it so that predators couldn't come in. There was a lot of work this year on the back end of this duck adventure. A ton of work. It's like, but what a difference it made, you know, like Mr. Coyote's had a real hard time this year. Real hard time. And Muscovy, you gotta go back to the pen. You're going the wrong direction, duck. The other way, towards the yard. If you stay out here, it's not good what can happen. We already had one Muscovy out here waking me up at midnight with a coyote chasing it through the yard. Come on. Okay, now this female just flew down here. I'm thinking just blank it out, you know, if that's what they want to do. Which last year, you know, think about it, the Muscovies, they do that, eh? They want to stay at the lake at night. But with that big owl hanging around, you guys better watch out there, duck. He'll snap you up real quick and easy. That duck can't outfly an owl, especially at night. They're milking it to the right to the end here, guys. They're hardcoring it. Yeah, they ever hardcoring it. You know, it's almost like, you know, they don't want to go in the pen because they know basically it's 12 hours. That's what it's like, guys. It's like they know it's locked down for the night and they don't want to do it. I screwed up, guys. Doug did a perfect get the ducks into the pen on his own. I just stood back and I watched and I was like dumbfounded and I never grabbed the camera. He did so good. He just knew what I wanted to do. I started pushing them into the pen and he just started running back and forth and got them in early for me. So now I can go start my second edit of the day. Try to get an episode done tonight so that it'll be uploaded and you guys will have it tomorrow morning because I got to get caught up. This being 7 days behind is ridiculous, actually.
And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends and enjoy the show.